The only knowledge which can lead to a man's fulfillment is knowledge of good and evil. This is portrayed in the play Faust by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, in which the main character, Dr. Faust, seeks fulfillment through knowledge. This knowledge of good and evil is not just the knowledge that it is bad to cause others to suffer and it is good to increase the happiness of others, but it is a deep understanding of and intimacy with goodness itself. At the beginning of the play, Faust is in a state of despair because he feels that his life has no meaning. We see that he has mastered every intellectual discipline and field of study, yet he feels like he has become no wiser. He laments over the limitations on how far knowledge can bring him. For all that he has gained, he was looking for something else that he still does not have. This despair clouded Faust's judgment, so that when the devil came for his soul, Faust made a poor decision and signed a contract with the devil. The contract states that the devil will give Faust whatever he desires and be his servant, but once Faust is content, the devil gets his soul. Once the contract is signed, the devil encourages Faust to stop thinking so much and get out into the world, hoping that Faust will use his new power to do something evil. The first thing we see Faust do is use occult magical practices to become younger. Not long after, he uses the devil's power to seduce a young woman into falling in love with him. For the remainder of the story, we see Faust going around doing whatever he pleases, at times making morally questionable decisions. What we do not see Faust do is go back to his study or use this power of the devil to gain more knowledge. Whereas Faust used to be a great scholar, we now see that he has become a sort of adventurer, though one who does not help many people. By the end of the play, we see that Faust has caused a bit of trouble in a lot of people's lives. We must remember that Faust was seeking for something which he did not find in his intellectual pursuits. And as we approach the end of the story, we are left wondering if he has come any closer to that thing which he was searching for. Near the end of the play, in an attempt to accrue land for himself, Faust causes an elderly couple to lose their home in the countryside. For the first time, Faust recognizes the harm that his actions are causing, and he has a change of heart. He tells the devil to stop doing things that will cause harm to other people, and he denounces the magic that he has used thus far to get to this place. Something in Faust is no longer in despair. Something now seeks to do good. At the very end of the play, Faust is blind, and the devil shows up with a band of demons to dig a grave for Faust. But Faust, hearing the clanking of the shovels, believes that these demons are workers building a great city. Faust rejoices, believing that there is a greater future being built for all people. And we see that Faust no longer cares so much about his own desires, but rather he cares about the well-being of his whole nation. It is at this moment that Faust is finally content. This fulfills the terms of the contract, and the devil opens up the gates of hell to take Faust's soul. But before he could do this, God reaches down and lifts up Faust, bringing him into heaven and saving him. Faust's sense of fulfillment coincides with his decision to choose righteous action over pursuing carnal desires. So there is a connection between what Faust has been searching for this whole time and the change of heart he has towards the end of the play. What he could not find in his books, he found through his actions. What he wanted was wisdom, or at least some bit of truth that brings fulfillment to his life. What he found was knowledge of good and evil. After the events of the play, for the first time in his life, Faust did not just know good and evil, but he truly understood it. It was not until after he saw true evil that he knew what was truly good. He sought answers in his studies and found none. And it wasn't until he had committed evil and had a chance to reflect on it that he learned what is evil and by contrast what is good. Once he learned what is good, he changed his ways, and in doing so found true fulfillment. When, at the end of the play, he is content and the contract is fulfilled, Faust is saved by God for his decision to do what is right. This intimate knowing of goodness is what brought fulfillment to Faust's life, and ultimately what brings fulfillment to the lives of all men. While it is never right to do evil simply to learn what is good, it is inevitable that we will do evil. But by reflecting on this evil, we can learn what is truly good, and thus find fulfillment. Just like Faust reflected on his evil and changed his ways, we also can reflect on the evil in our own lives and change our ways. This will bring us knowledge of goodness, and this will bring us fulfillment. We are left with this: fulfillment only comes through knowledge of good and evil. What, then, is truly evil, and what is truly good?